Right, good evening. Welcome to this debate. The topic is as follows. This House, as a feminist, welcomes the decline of motherhood. I'd like to ask the first proposition speaker from Brr Brr Patapin, Emma Patriarca, to start with their speech. Here.
My speech starts in 3, 2, 1. Good evening, I'm Emma Patriarca and I'm the first speaker on the proposition side. Before starting giving you talking about the arguments and the model we are proposing on this debate, I want to give some definitions. Definition we want to give are feminist and the decline of motherhood. By feminist, we mean the tendency to encourage gender equality. And by decline of motherhood, we mean separation from the figure of a mother and a woman, because a woman doesn't have necessarily to be a mother. And by saying that, we're not abolishing the fact of having children, but we don't think that women must be mother in any case. The status quo for this debate is especially about nowadays society. Currently, society pushes women into becoming mothers, and society wants them to fulfill the value of becoming mothers, even if women don't want to. Mothers are also seen as the main nurturer, and they must provide mainly to the child in a more impactful way than other family members. Motherhood is also seen most of the times as a limitation for hardworking women especially in some types of careers. And motherhood is seen as a limitation because women may prefer to pursue their career rather than raising a family on their own. Nowadays, the feminist movement acts as the main agent in this motion. We want to imagine a world where feminists can fight the ideal of motherhood and has the central purpose of a woman's life. This new world can be seen through education, media representation, and new workplaces where women can decide if they want to have children or not, or if they prefer to pursue their careers rather than becoming mothers and having to raise a family. Over time, this leads to a cultural decline of motherhood as a social expectation and not as an individual experience. This model aligns with the feminist values that are mainly autonomy, equality, and freedom for the stereotypes gender roles. I'm gonna start to talk about the two main arguments that we found. The first argument is about especially motherhood, that is not should be a choice and not a destiny. Historically, women were not asked whether they wanted to be mothers because motherhood is seen as something that is mandatory for women, almost as the only path that can give women fulfillment. Women who didn't want to have children or even couldn't have children were many times judged as selfish or incomplete. Their value was related to especially being mothers and not their ambition, intellect, or humanity. The decline of motherhood is especially is the visible result of women finally gaining the power of choosing whether they want to be mothers or not. Women must be able to decide if, when, and how to have children. And they're not rejecting the idea that there shouldn't exist mother or the figure of a mother in our society, but they don't want to be mothers first and individuals seconds. They still want to be an individual person that doesn't have to find her personality in being a mother. This is not about women hating motherhood. This is about refusing to be defined by motherhood. Welcoming the decline of motherhood means welcoming a world where women's worth does not depend especially or completely sometimes on having children. It means recognizing autonomy, self-control over their bodies, determination and freedom that are the core of feminism. And this is a victory we should all celebrate. Another reason is that Another reason we welcome the decline of motherhood is that for a long time, society has told women that the main purpose in life was to become mothers. Real women were told that real women are women that have children and take care of a family in this society thought. Women who didn't want to have children were often seen as wrong, and this idea has limited the women's freedom and pushed many roles, especially many career roles, working roles, as roles that couldn't be chosen by women because of this thought of the society. Today, we want to change things because women are showing that they can be many things. They can be leaders, workers, or artists, and even thinkers. And they do not have to have children to be complete or valuable. The second argument that will be especially
We can't hear you anymore, Emma.
oh sorry, where have you stopped hearing me?
The second argument was?
The second argument is about being a woman is not about being a woman. Being a woman is not about being a mother, sorry, but is about being free. Because women should not be seen as mothers, and being mothers shouldn't be seen as an automatic role because we're women. In fact, for too long, society has linked being a woman with being a mother, expecting women to stay at home and sometimes even sacrifice their careers, while men are pushed to be great workers. This creates inequality and puts unfair burden on women, but this is an argument that will be especially that the second speaker will be focused on. With that, I'm handing my speech and thanking you.
Okay.
Okay, the time was 8 minutes and 12 seconds.
Thank you, Manuela. Just a few seconds for us now, please.
Sorry?
Just a few seconds for us. We'll wait just a few seconds for us, judges. Okay, if both my colleagues are ready, we can move on to the first speech of the opposition. Martina, you may have the floor.
Good evening. My speech is gonna start. It's in 3, 2, 1. We are on opposition side, and we believe that feminism should not welcome the decline of motherhood. Feminism at its core is about freedom of choice and the right of women to decide who they want to be and how they want to live. But welcoming the decline of motherhood sends the message that women who choose to have children are somehow less feminist or less ambitious. That is not equality, and this is a new kind of pressure, we think. And we think that motherhood is not a weakness or a trap. It is a form of strength, empathy, and courage, because we think it's a gift. And many women find deep meaning and identity in being mothers. And feminism should defend the right and not deny it. And the real problem, we think it's not motherhood itself, but the lack of support for mothers. For example, unequal pay, limited parental leave, or social judgment above all. And we think that if we want progress, we should fix those issues and not celebrate for fewer mothers. And also, the decline of motherhood as serious social and emotional costs. For example, families are smaller, birth rates are failing, and many societies are facing, for example, less children than usual. And true feminism, we think, should care about everyone's well-being, women, children, and the future generations. And in conclusion, we believe that feminism should not reject motherhood, but instead respect or protect it. And equality for us means giving every woman the chance to choose motherhood without fear or judgment. Thank you very much.
The speech lasted 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Martina. Just a few seconds for us. Great. If both my colleagues are ready, we can move on to the second speech of the proposition. So, Rebecca, you may have the floor.
Hello, I'm the second speaker. And to start, I'm going to argue about our definition of the motion who says welcome to the decline of motherhood. We define the decline as a choice of women to decide if they want to be a mother or not, and not to hate the fact of being a mother. Moreover, women who choose to do not have children aren't less feminist. So they are promoting a society where women can choose for themselves, and I agree with you of the fact of being equal between women and men. But with this motion, we wanted to promote the equality, so women can choose, and also it isn't. I don't agree on on what you said about the decrease of children and new birth, because women can choose to be mother or not. So there would be mothers and women who don't want to be. But And also, we wanted to say that women's aren't the main nature, so they don't have only to take care of children, but they can focus on the other activities. And by this motion that we are promoting, we want also to promote a new way of parenting, more equal, and men's or promoting fatherhood. So our argument, what we are saying, is that women's don't have to be mothers, and this misunderstanding has been dragged from past beliefs, which wanted the women's to be mother instead of having a career. And I can only tell you an example. In ancient Greece, to become an adult, boys had to have some activities to do, and if they didn't pass them, they could also die. Obviously, this practice during the years has been stopped, and it is more straight than our statement, but is really similar. And I think that women's aren't mothers, so we have to change the concept that associate these two figures. And also by promoting, like I said before, fatherhood. Fathers aren't only the part of the family that holds economic problems and issues. So by promoting this emotion, women can help the family economically, and fathers can help taking care of children. Moreover, being a mother is a choice, like the other debaters said. So women's don't have to be judged about their choices, and this is a fact, a main statement of the saying of equality. And the decline of motherhood hasn't to be hasn't to be bad looked, because it doesn't mean to hate being a mother, but it means to choose to not being because you want to be someone else, or you want to have another future. So what we are saying is that people have a freedom of choice. So a person can be a mother and can be separately a woman. And with this last sentence, I end my speech. And thank you.
Okay, Rebecca, it lasted 2 minutes 18. Sorry, no, it lasted, sorry. No, the speech was 6 minutes. 6 minutes, sorry.
Thank you very much, Manuela.
Yeah.
Okay, a few seconds for us. I wanted to give both teams an advice. When you offer POIs, also open your microphone and say POI. Otherwise, the speaker may not see your raised hand.
Sorry, I didn't see that.
Okay, if both my colleagues are ready, we can move on to the fourth speech in this debate, the second speech of the opposition house. Andrea?
Hi, I'll have the next time for the opposition. I'll have the next speech. So I want to start with analyzing what my opponent has said. In the first place, I think there's a misunderstanding that a woman has either to be a mom or have a job. I think that both things can coexist in a way. A job doesn't mean that you have to stay and work 8 hours a day. There can be part-time jobs. And I have heard that someone has said that a woman the only way she can be judged, like give a worth, like how the only way she can be in some way important to society is that she has a job and she works. And I think this is a wrong understanding of what a woman is. Like a woman can also be judged by her experience, but by what life she has lived, and not also by what job she has. But a housewife isn't like less worthy than a CEO to have rights and everything. I think that this is a misconception the opposite side has, that not necessarily a woman doesn't have a job means that she's worth less. For my second point instead, the second point of our of the opposition, I want to say that a house, you're a woman, sometimes the children tend to grow up in a way that's sometimes it's not like it would have been if they had a mother. For example, when I've grown up, I always remember being with my mom at home. She would have a job, but she would also work sometimes and spend most of her time with me. And I remember growing up and a beautiful memory of my mom raising me and giving me life lessons pretty much from her past life. She used to be a model, so I remember her telling me all these stories about her youth. And she would work as well. She would make a considerable amount of money, but she will also raise me. So you
Right.
also have less bondings.
Okay.
Oh, there's a question.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Did you know that we defined the decline of motherhood as separation from the figure of mother and a woman? And we also said that a woman doesn't have necessarily to be a mother, but we're also not abolishing the fact of having children, but we also don't think that women must be mother in any case, because they're kind of assuming that.
Sorry, can you repeat the last part? You kind of glitched. I didn't hear you.
That we're not abolishing the fact of women having children. We just don't think that women must be mothers in any case.
I have never said that. I believe that a mother can also just do whatever she wants. She doesn't have, I mean, not a mother, a woman. She can have children by her own choice. I'm not saying that the worth of a woman is decided by the fact that she has children, that she has, she has sons and daughters. I'm just saying that the worth of a woman cannot be defined by what job she has. So if she's a mother, she has the same worth in a society as a CEO of an international company. I'm saying that a woman that has children is the same as a woman that is a CEO that doesn't have children. The worth, you cannot define the worth of a woman by only what she does now. There's also a past to people. You wouldn't judge a prisoner because he used to be a nice guy, then he killed someone, now is forever marked as a bad guy. There's also a path for change and redemption in life. But anyway, I'm saying, and also this vice versa. If someone has lived a virtuous life and now just want to settle down and have children, there's nothing wrong with that either. So back to my point, to what I was saying, is that sometimes, it also, when there's not a mother in the house, you usually hire a babysitter, which can babysit your son or daughter. But at the same time, a babysitter is not a mother. Sometimes I remember when the few times my parents were on holidays, I remember them going away and giving me a babysitter, they would all be women in their 20s/30s, and they wouldn't be moms. They would just be people who were trying to reach the end of the month by rounding up some figures. So although you may get a babysitter, it's not the same quality of education that you can get from a mother. That's what I'm saying. So at the same time, a mother figure in your house is also very important for the developing of children. Also, fatherhood is important as well. I mean, you can get both of the sides of, a father and a mother can give you different life lessons. For example, you can have a father teaching you about responsibility and stuff, or being an example to what you have to do with life, like be serious, study and everything. But a mother at home is no different. Like, she can also give you life lessons from her life. So at the same time, a father that, like, shows his fatherhood by teaching you stuff is also at the same work as a mother teaching you, their life experiences. Maybe they have different types of purposes in your education, but both of them are very important for developing of any children. It's in their own different ways. So after saying this, I can stop. If there's other question that would like to be answered, go ahead and let me know. But this is my point.
Sorry, one moment. Sorry, it was 6 minutes 49.
Okay, thank you very much, Andrea. I think we're ready to move to the third speech of the proposition. Anastasia, you may have the floor.
Good evening. I'm the third speaker of the active side, and I would like to start my speech by saying that I want to be clear of what we said before, because we are not actually rejecting the caregiving. We are rejecting more the idea itself of motherhood, like a woman's destiny. So just because of that, a woman doesn't have necessarily to be a mother, to be respected, to be considered completed. So we're actually not saying that we like to clarify that we are not saying that we don't want women to be mothers and all of that. We actually mean that the decline of the social pressure of women, it's more important. It's actually what we want to say. So the actual decline of motherhood is more like decline of expectation that we have on a woman, and also the decline of the control over women's bodies and women's choice. First of all, I wanted to clarify that we actually like I hear that the second, I guess, speaker of the opposite side says that we can have part-time jobs, but part-time jobs are actually less paid. So women in any chance would have less opportunities to have money like a man had. So also we are actually not talking about discrimination in another ways, because I also hear that. We are more staying by the part of women being discriminated, like not actually discriminated, because just the society has not so right idea about mothers, like mothers that actually doesn't want to be ones. So we want to say that being mother is a right that everyone has, but and another right that everyone has is to have a choice to not be one.
Question?
So yes.
Actually, okay. You have said in the first speech, you said, I mean, your ally has said that the main, like the worth of someone is to celebrate what they do now. While you have said that, you know, if someone that also is a mom, there's some worth. Like I'm getting mixed messages here. Like you think something and your ally thinks something else. Because I'm seeing, you said that a mom is also, yeah. I mean, you kind of got behind what I said, saying that a mom has the same worth of a worker, but your friend said that a mom, or I mean, a woman should have more worth working. So it's different, the two things. On top of that, I'm gonna ask you also that, you know, a part-time job, yes, I know they don't make as the same money as a full-time job, but if someone wants to be a mom, I mean, if a woman wants to be a mom and also work, a part-time job is the best solution for this. She can work like enough time and at the same time look after the children. The two things don't need, like, you don't need, it's either black and white. She has a job and she's a powerful CEO, or she's a mom and stays at home. I know that part-time jobs don't make the same money, but at the same time, a mom can have that just to, you know, have some more money, some extra money to do what she wants and buy more things and more quality stuff.
Thank you. What I wanted to say before is that we are not pushing the dialogue to women can be a mother and also a worker, but more for that the definition of the motion that we are giving is that like actually I'm sorry, that we are not giving we are not declining actually forcing someone to not be a mother, but we are giving someone who doesn't want to be a mother the freedom to not be one. So we are more pushing to the fact that we want to have freedom for feminists. And by saying that, I wanted to continue my speech by saying that what will happen if we actually decline motherhood? First of all, we will start to see a more shared humanity. What I wanted to say that fatherhood and motherhood will be at the same level, as not as it. today, because what we notice that motherhood is like being more accepted and being seen like a more important role in a family. Also, childcare will become a collective social duty. So not an more invisible tax on women's time. In our world, women can lead without guilt of not being a mother. Also, men can take care of their child without any stigma, and also children will grow up seeing more equality in their home. I want to finish my speech by saying that again, that we are not rejecting motherhood. We are more about reclaiming womanhood. So yes, today feminism becomes a world where motherhood is one possible path, but not the only path. I want to finish my speech. Thank you.
Okay, it lasted 9 minutes 16. One question: can you hear the sound? Can you? Okay, thank you.
Right, if both my colleagues are ready, we can move on to the third speech of the opposition. Francesca, you may have the floor.
Good evening, I'm Francesca and the third speaker of the opposite side, and I'm starting my speech. As my teammates already said, being a feminist doesn't mean welcoming the decline of motherhood, because being a mother is a gift, and all women have the freedom to be a full-time mother or have a job and ask for some support of the mother role. And regarding the speech that of the other debater about the part-time jobs, we think that a part-time job is something that a mother can have plus of the role of mother. So a mom can do both things at the same time. And on the other end, just working and declining the role of mother could have some problems, because costs of kindergarten are really high nowadays, and we think that there should be a support by the government and more powerful corporations, because the society needs more services about these. And another option for mothers and families could be asking for babysitters, but in the same way, also having a babysitter and pay them, it's really expensive. So we think that being a mother is a choice, and sometimes could be could be cheaper than go working, and both of the parents have a job, and the kids being at home or in another building like kindergarten with other people that they maybe don't know, so they don't grow up with the same ideas of the families. And I can end my speech saying that also fatherhood is we are not declining that, so we are not saying that just mothers can look after children, because also fathers have the same possibilities to stay at home and doing the same things. We are just saying that being a mother, stay together and with your children is an opportunity, and is something that you can live just once. So mothers should also use this time to share with their children. Thank you for your time.
Okay, you talked for 3 minutes and 8 seconds.
Okay, thank you very much, Manuela. Thank you, Francesca. It's now time for the reply speeches. We start, of course, from the opposition house. So, Andrea, you may have the floor once again.
So, in conclusion, we want to say that a mother, a woman, in the first place, is free to do whatever she pleases the most, both having children, not having children, working, not working, working and having children. Nothing defines or takes away from her being a woman, and at the same time, it's not you either do this or that. You can do both. You can have a part-time job if you wish to do something more. There's other options. We do not reject the freedom of choice for women to choose whatever they want to do with their own life. We don't reject fatherhood either. We believe that a father is also an important figure in the growth and development of a child, and we also, we are saying that this should be encouraged in a way. At the same time, we do realize that if a mother wants to, be a mother, but at the same time do something more, we realize there's some issues with that. Not any like freedom or anything. It's more of an economical issue. Like babysitters cost a lot, and they aren't really as good as moms are. There's also the problem kindergartens cost a lot as well. The government and big corporations, we believe they should do something more to help mothers be mothers at the same time looking after their children and working. And so another thing is that we also believe that freedom of choice, you do whatever you want, but at the same time we believe that it's very important to grow with a mother, because it's a very important figure in your development. There's very few things that are as important as a mother in your own life. It's also a gift for women to have the possibility to have children, which men obviously can't have this privilege. And it's proven that children that grow up with moms are also, less prone to actually go and, disrespect women in life. So it's also important for respecting others and accepting other people, while also, having some life lessons from your mother, as well as, there's need to be a balance between mother and father, from one giving you an example to how to work, what to do in life, like a straight example on you follow this and that. Maybe sometimes it's also harsh. It's it's frustrating, but at the same time, it's necessary. Same thing applied for the mom. You need to have a mom that tells you some stuff, helps you around, and they're important figure in the same way, in both ways, but also both of them have the same opportunities nowadays. Although sometimes it's hard to achieve what men do because sometimes women are paid less. But I believe that being a mom doesn't preclude the possibility to work and do something, the things you want with your own life. They're not two different concepts, and that's how I want to end my summarize of what we said.
Okay, 3 minutes and 4 seconds.
Okay, thank you very much once again, Andrea. We are now ready for the very last speech in our debate. Rebecca, you may have the floor for the reply speech of the proposition.
Thank you. I would like you to imagine a world where women are pushed to have children, and our world where women have freedom of choice. I would like to say that you were talking about childcare and how women who were mothers weren't stopped by their taking care of children and having babies in work. They were stopped at their work and their career, but you haven't focused about our statement of the decision of a woman to have children or not. And so in our world, a woman decides to have children or to not have, and without a judgment, and a mother still taking care of children, and a father also, as you also said. So equality is our main statement. And as you said, women and men are equal, and the women can be a mother without stopping her career and her work and her increase in her abilities. So also you talked about babysitters and how a mother would be a model for her children, and mothers with our statement and in our world will always be they will always exist and be a model for their child, and there will only be some women who will choose a different way of life without being a mother, because also this is possible, and it is a right we always have. And with this last sentence, I end my reply.
Sorry, okay. No, sorry. It was 2 minutes 91.
No. 51 maybe, Emanuela?
Sorry?
51 seconds maybe?
Yeah, it was my mistake, sorry. I check again. No, it was, sorry, 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Great. Thank you very much. The debate is now over.
Sì,
I'll now stop the recording.
sorry.